Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Salomon Taka Nakai EP. This board features Salomon's powder camber, which is an elongated rocker with a set back camber, so it's directional cam rocker with a tiny little rocker in the tail that you probably will never even notice. What you're going to get out of this board is the load, pop, snap, and drive of traditional camber from that rear foot. But out at the front, you're going to have this ease of entry in and out of turns, as well as more optimal powder float. This board's available in 159, 164, and 170. I rode this board at Copper Mountain midday on a day that was mostly sunny, but there was still like some clouds coming in with snow falling. There was about 13 inches of fresh snow with leftover pow from the previous storm, chopped chunder, powder panic groomers, which just means they were extra lumpy, and I rode it with my Rome black label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. So obviously this is going to have a directional flex. Overall, it is a middle of the road in terms of its stiffness. That means softer nose, progressively stiffening back up to the tail. There is a key sweet spot right in front of the rear insert pack. So when you really load up that camber, it helps elevate the nose. The torsional flex is very abundant. You can really twist this board and ankle steer it. Now, when it comes to stability, obviously with it being a directional flex with a directional camber with rocker in the nose, you do get some chatter that will slightly resonate underfoot. When you get into really lumpy terrain, this board kind of just contours with everything instead of skipping over it. This makes it a little bit more stable. And I know for a longer powder board that's softer, you'd think that it wouldn't be stable, but this actually is fairly stable. So with this board having a directional camber profile, you have to load it up off the rear foot, and when you roll out on the tail, it activates that little micro rocker and you get some spring. It's not the snappiest board out there, but you'll be able to pop a side hit, boost a roller, and porpoise through fresh snow with ease. Are you gonna boost to the moon? No, not even close. All right, so you like this review? Good. Click that little thumbs up button. You know you want to. While you're at it, why don't you subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for you. You know you want to. Butterability. So with that longer nose and that rocker out there, you have to over exaggerate your movements to really get this to press, and then you got to leverage your weight up on it. Otherwise you have a really soggy butter and you're probably going to hook and then end up spinning out on it. If you know how to pop, land in it, and pop back out, you'll have a better time. With the tail, it's pretty much high-speed wheelies only. When it comes to steering this board on edge, there's a fluid and methodical nature to it. It's not going to be the fastest edge to edge, but what you're going to notice is that when it transitions in, it's very smooth, and then it steers right underfoot. So you're going to guide that carve from the front foot and drive all the power from the rear, because that's where the apex of the camber is. Short, tight, quick carves and medium mellow carves are very easy and smooth with this board, but you're going to want a little bit more space, especially if you try to lay it over and do an elongated carve. This is one of those boards that really lets you just be slow and transition from the right side of the run over to the left, and then back from the left over to the right. You want to make sure that you got space and there's nobody around for you. It locks in and it holds well, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be the most aggressive. And this is really where the differentiation is from this board and the regular Taka right over there. That's a little bit more precise on edge, but there is subtle nuances to it. This is more that Japanese snow surf style where you're just really taking your time, getting those wide turns before you get deep and low on it. Rider in mind. So who's this board for? The snow surfing powder rider. If you like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. I really wish I'd ridden the bigger size in this. The 64 worked, but I think the 70 would have been more my speed. This is a board that you're not going to go out and just charge with. You're going to take your time, you're going to slash turns, you're going to be a little more slow and methodical with how you drive this board from one side of the run to the other, or how it reacts when you're in wide open pow. That's the big difference between this and the regular Taka, but overall, it overlaps that board so much that the subtle differences, most people aren't going to notice it because they're just going to be like, oh, I just want to charge with it. It's a big, long board, and that's not really what it's for. Frankly, they could merge the two of them and just have a better ride. Overall, I did dig this, and I dig what it's about. I think that there is a rider that's going to really love this, but it's not going to be for everyone. Comparable boards, the Korua Pintonic, the Nitro Cannon, or the BBC, the Big Black Cannon, and the Stranda Tree Surfer. Binding recommendations, the Salomon Hologram, the Union Strata, the K2 Bond. This has been my review of the Salomon Taka Nakai EP. If you like this, why don't you go check out one of the reviews for one of the comparable boards.